I guess I've been putting this off for quite a while now, and so I guess now is as good a time as any to actually discuss it. I've chosen to come back to God, and what I mean by that is I was I was a backslider in my in what I mean by that is I turned away from God horribly. I grew up in a Christian environment. I attended a Christian school for my primary school, and everything was going good, everything was going lekker. But then all of a sudden, oh, lekker is slang. It's South African slang for awesome or great or super. So if you always hear me say lekker, it's obviously that. It's me saying it's awesome. So I enter high school, and that's where the pawpaw hit the fan, basically. I was exposed to a lot of things, and in that environment, I gave my life to Christ then. I actually made the decision to give my life to Christ there. And I can't remember the details exactly what happened, but somehow the wheels came off, and yeah, basically things started to spiral. I was thinking to myself that I'm done. God, God doesn't love me. God hates me. That type of thing. So I basically went down a downward spiral. I'm pretty sure you've all heard the stories and that type of thing. But for me, this was horrible. I I cannot even describe it. That's how horrible it was. And so began where lust started to take root, and it pretty much exploded when I left high school and got into college. That was where things like corn and questionable games and that type of thing. Basically, and to be straight up, it's corn games, basically. And I thought to myself, well, God doesn't love me, so may as well keep doing this. And, you know the drill. Now, during that entire time, I always had this spark. I'm not sure how to describe it, but what I would describe it is like a spark. At that point, I had stopped reading my Bible, and my prayer life basically became robotic. Like, Lord, please forgive me, and that type of thing, and then I go right back into watching it, or even playing it, and then yeah, every single day it was just watch corn, basically. And that was pretty much my life. But every time I did that, there was always this spark, and this spark would just never die. And I was actually perplexed and very confused. I would always think to myself, I'm doing this. I'm pretty sure God hates me right now. But why do I still feel this spark? What's going on? And as a result, I just kept thinking to myself, no, God is still done with me. He still hates me, and that type of thing. But then all of a sudden, one day, and I remember it clear as day. It was 2023, and I was working a night shift at the office. At that point, I was knee deep in some questionable corn, and when I say questionable, I mean, dude, what the heck? type questionable. I don't want to go into the specifics of it. It's not a very good place, should I say. And I do not like visiting it. It's actually a bit traumatic for me with that. And I watched this. I remember my mom sending me this video regarding the Euphrates River and how there were like sounds that emanated from this one chamber underground. And when I first saw it, I thought nothing of it, like, yeah, whatever, don't care. But then all of a sudden, it crosses my mind again. So I go looking along. And of course, I will include the video in the description. So I'm busy there thinking, what is this? So I do a bit of digging. And I come across articles about the Euphrates River drying up. And from there, I'm like, okay, this is very interesting. Like it had my full attention type interesting. And then I remember in Revelation, the book of Revelations, they discussed it in regards to the Euphrates River, how there were angels that were chained at the Euphrates River to be released at a set day, at a set time of the year, of the month, exactly to the point where they would be released. And then I found the video again that day, because I lost it previously, but then I found it again. And when I watched that video and listened to the noises, my blood ran cold. Like, I knew scared. Like, obviously playing horror games and that type of thing. But this was a whole new level of scared. Like, I was terrified. And at that point, I was just like, I am in big, big trouble. So I cried out to the Lord, Lord, forgive me. Lord, I am so sorry for what I've done. And in that moment, it's almost like a weight that lifted itself off my shoulders. I'm not saying that I have all the answers. In fact, I have very few answers. But I know what it's like. I know what it's like to be trapped where you think to yourself that you're done for. God is finished with you and that type of thing. I know what it's like. It's terrifying. But what I learned in that regard, and it still a little bit brings tears to my eyes at times when I still remember it. Being scared is one thing, but at the same time as well, there is power. You don't have to fight things on your own. You don't have to be the one-man army that we all like to idolize and envision for ourselves, the unstoppable juggernaut. If we really were that, I want to ask you the question. If we really were that, then what was the point in God dying for us? What was the point in Jesus dying for us? I know what it's like to be terrified. I know what it's like to be scared, and I hope that this message can bring comfort to any person out there who's also struggling, who's been in the pain of thinking that you're done, seeking the validation, seeking help, but unable to ask, unable to find the words and that type of thing. There is no shame in it. You'll always have someone in your corner. You're not alone in this. My life, I look back at my life right now and I see myself completely different. I am 100% a full 180 change. I I literally owe everything to Christ. This is not me. This is Christ doing it. Yes, I still struggle and I still battle with lust. But at the same time as well, God does not turn his back on you. He's not a case of, why are you still struggling with this? No, he invites you. He's literally there waiting. God is a gentleman. He's a very, very, very strong gentleman. He's powerful, but he's a gentleman. He will not move until you ask him to help. Do not be afraid to ask for help, especially from the Lord. That's all. That's literally what it is. But at the same time as well, it takes real courage to ask for help, especially coming from a man. It takes a lot of courage to ask for help. Because in our heads, we always like to think of ourselves as macho men, the I can handle it type of guy. But even as a man, it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. A man cannot do this on his own. God created a helper, and we always have, and we always need someone to help us. That is all there is to it. But at the same time as well, again, I have literally transformed my life. I look at it now, peace rules in my life. My entire existence has been transformed. I've never known patience like this, love so pure. I've never enjoyed something so incredible. And I really want you guys to experience this as well with me. So if this has brought any form of hope to you, please pass this on, and even as well, give your life to Jesus. Because I promise you this much, he will not turn you away, because even his word says so. We all know God is not a liar. He will not turn away those who come to him. Thank you.